astronauts, this is Brandy and welcome back to Astro-Tarot Research. If I've planned the order of these videos right, this should be the first video of the new year. So happy new year, you beautiful astronauts. I know this year is going to be brilliant and amazing and completely loving, and you're going to have so many blessings coming your way. But now let's jump into this reading. This week's reading is, what do they wish they could tell you? This was one of the questions you had for your poll, astronauts. This is the winner here. But before we get into these piles, I do want to remind you, as always, to like, comment, and subscribe. If you wanted to continue to vote on the polls, I could post on the community tab, though I think I'm taking like a break right now from polling, but that's okay. Please continue to check back because there will be more polls in the future. And also, if you want to just get to know more about me, all you have to do is check out my TikTok, if that's not banned by now. That should be linked below. And also, I have my Instagram available to you astronauts if you are just interested in knowing some cute tarot insights and you love learning more about Vedic astrology. Now let's jump into these piles. We have pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, pile number 4, and pile number 5. Don't forget to give me your feedback. I love knowing if this reading resonates for you astronauts, but that is all I have to say. And so just sit back, relax, and choose. Hey pal number 1, let's get started on your reading. What they wish they could tell you. The Tower, Judgment, I admire your strength and courage, Novice of Lightning, Exploration, the King of Swords, the Ace of Cups. Okay, so right off the bat, when we have the Tower here, obviously very Tower's moments, what comes to mind for me is that they would wish they could tell you the truth. Now, when we have the truth here and it's surrounded by judgment, possibly it's dealing with a situation that involves forgiveness, righting a wrong, apologizing, coming forward about something they've done, a confession, whatever the case may be. I mean, this is Judgment Day, right? Drawn on the cards here. So it's about, owning up to your behavior. So I don't know what this person did, if this is romantic, if this is a friendship, it's platonic, but whatever the case may be, this person may have some regrets about what they said, how they said it, or even some actions that they may have taken towards you that may have just not been right, have not been reflective of a decent person or human being or something along the lines of that. And it really does show that this person has matured somewhat in a way, because we do have this King of Swords and this Ace of Cups, which can represent having some new gains in emotional insights or growing emotionally or in emotional intelligence, growing in empathy or understanding of others and things along the lines of that. And so it makes me think that they have gained a new perspective, or they've gained new insight. And the fact that we have Novice of Lightning and then we have the lightning on the tarot card, when we think about lightning, we think about how fast and hard and terrifying it is, and how sudden this force of nature comes into our reality. And that kind of works in a way in terms of like ideas or insights. It's almost like seen as like when you see someone getting struck by lightning, it's almost like something hits them suddenly. It's almost like a reference for a realization or a metaphor for having a sudden realization. So this was definitely something that really hit them like a ton of bricks, that they've really spent some time thinking about, that they have been examining and reflecting, especially when we have Judgment here, connecting to thinking deeply about things and examining your options, and exploration as well, which comes to like exploring new ideas, taking hold of new insights and applying them as well is something here. So it's almost like they're exploring this new realm of their mind or soul or heart, or whatever the case, whatever you want to call it here for them. But this is definitely some new insight on about their own behavior, possibly even about yours as well. And everything I said before applies. They want to make some sort of confession. They want to apologize. They want to tell you the truth about something. They want to lay all their cards out on the table. This is something that I'm not sure what it's brought on by, because we didn't pull cards for that, but I'm sure it's different for everyone since it's a general reading. But I will say this is fairly recently. And then we have I admire your strength and courage here. And it makes me think that they've gained a new personal insight when it comes to you. They have a new realization that they've just come across. They're like, wow, you know what? I've never thought of things from your perspective. Like, I've never thought just how brave you are. I never thought how courageous you are. I've never realized your strength. And because they've realized these things, I think it's helped them form a better understanding and almost like a deeper fondness or a love that they potentially have for you. It makes them really appreciate you more, especially with this Ace of Cups on the end. This represents, you know, this cup full of, well, it could be lots of emotions, but here I'm going to say that it's something love and nurturing, like especially since we have this card of strength and courage, and we have this Judgment card of forgiveness and things along the lines of that. You know, maybe for a small portion of you, I'm not really sure the percentage, maybe 30%, 40%. This could be them maybe even forgiving something you've possibly done. Now, I just want to not offend anyone, but you know, we're not all perfect. So it's likely you may have done or said something to offend this person as well, you know, or disappoint them in some way. That happens, right? We're all human. And so they're sort of looking at things from your point of view, and they're just like, wait, actually, I kind of get it now. I understand why they may have said that, why they may have done that, why they may have, you know, looked at things a certain way or had a certain perspective, and they value that a lot more. They cherish that a lot more, and they have a deeper understanding and a sense of just appreciation for it. Like, that's the main thing that's coming through here, where they feel like they wish they could tell you just how appreciative they are of you, how you're someone they really value, how you're somebody who has really brought a deeper insight into their life, how you're someone who has transformed their perspective and more than likely made them realize certain things about themselves that possibly needed to be worked on, that you're someone who inspired a strong sense of accountability with them, or a stronger sense of accountability within them. And that I think because of you, that you have stimulated some deeper insights into this person. Like, they were like, wait, this person pointed out this, and this about me. Let me actually reflect and think about that. Like, something along the lines of that, or vice versa, where they feel like they may have maybe stepped over the line, crossed the boundary, said some things that they regret, and they've thought about that and said, wow, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I shouldn't have run my mouth that way, you know? Maybe I shouldn't have done all of those things. But 100% we do see a growth in this person. Now, possibly for some of you, like when we have the Tower here and judgment, exploration, all of these things, this could be something along the lines of like they want to tell you that you rock their world. Like you're somebody who's hit them like a ton of bricks and things along the lines of that. You're someone who they find impressive, who they think is smart and loving and caring. And, you know, that's probably more so for maybe platonic relationships. I mean, you know, I guess the friendship and romantic could apply to all of the other things I've said, but 100% the platonic relationships, if you ask about someone like that, they feel like you've really brought some strong insights into them and you've able to change their life for the better. Because one thing about judgment we don't talk about enough is it can represent the ending of bad habits or starting afresh and starting anew and transforming into something different. So your interactions with this person has caused them to transform and to be more insightful and more inquisitive and more understanding and be more open with their communication and how they feel. Especially this King of Swords and the Ace of Cups coming together. It's like the King of Swords is finally, you know, saying how he feels and what he thinks of things. I mean, he always kind of tells what he thinks, but he may not say how he specifically feels about a certain issue. And so this person may feel like, oh, you've allowed me to be more open with my emotions and tell the truth. And I would like to tell you how you have changed my life in that way. But that is what I have for you, pile number 1. Let me know if this resonates. If not, feel free to choose a new pile, or maybe I'm not the reader for you. Either way, I'm very happy you stopped by. Don't forget to comment. Let me know what you think. I love hearing what you have to say, and feel free to become an astronaut. I would love for you to join us. And I will see you next time. Au revoir. Hey, pal, number 2, let's get into what they wish they could tell you. We have the 10 of Pentacles, Death card. You are the essential piece. 14 Temperance, just breathe. The 2 of Wands and the 2 of Cups. Wow, this is such a beautiful reading. Okay, pal number 2. I don't know who you're thinking about, but since we have like this 2 of Cups and this you are the essential piece meaning, and we also have the 10 of Pentacles, what it makes me think is that they feel like you are missing, and this should be reversed because it's coming after the 2 of Wands, but they feel like they are missing you in their life, or if you're already in a relationship or in some sort of romantic bond with this person, they feel like their life wouldn't be the same without you. It essentially, like Kelly Clarkson's old song used to say, my life would suck without you. So if you have gone through some sort of breakup, or if you are currently with this person, either one, they feel like you are that missing piece to their puzzle. This person either misses you or they do not want you to leave their life. This 10 of Pentacles makes me think that this person is starting to view you from a long-term perspective. Like they're thinking of this dream life that they want to have with you, that feels stable, that feels complete, that feels comfortable, that feels secure, that feels like home, essentially. That feels very much achievable with you. Especially when we have this Death card, it represents a transformation of that image, which makes me think that perhaps they're seeing things from a new perspective. Maybe you guys were casually dating, or maybe you were dating before in a relationship, but they weren't fully considering or fully thinking things through on being sort of together in a more committed sense. You know, lots of times people form relationships or they start dating and they get to know someone and they, you know, move in together, but they're not quite thinking about marriage quite yet. Now this person is thinking of that long-term marriage, long-term partnership, building a life together, like saying, hey, I think this is my person. I think you are my person. That is what this pile is saying, pile number 2. This person cares a lot for you deeply. I mean, the Ten of Pentacles obviously represents wanting to build a life together, okay? And when we have this just breathe Temperance, there's this feeling of ease that they have when it comes to being around you. They feel like they can relax, they can let loose. Like you are the person who makes their life a little bit easier. And I love that Temperance represents, blending together two elements, sort of like these puzzles coming together, all of these little pieces being able to form a larger picture, coming together to create something greater or larger than itself. Similar to how Temperance blends two elements together to create something different. They feel like you're that person that blends nicely with them, and they create something more beautiful and more magical with you two together. This Two of Wands is very interesting though. So I'm going to interpret it two different ways. For you who may be thinking about someone who may have previously left your life, this is somebody sort of saying like, I really feel like I wish things had worked out. 100% that is what they are feeling. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And when we have this Two of Wands here, it's like, yeah, I have to move on. I can't keep, staying in the same place, and I have to look out for other options. But with this Two of Cups reverse, it's almost like the other options really don't compare to you. They don't feel right. It's not quite the same mix. It doesn't feel as relaxed. It doesn't feel as comforting. It doesn't feel as natural to them. Versus the other portion of you who may be dating someone, in a relationship with someone, this feels more so on the lines of like, what would I do without you in my life? And this person is sort of like thinking that through, and they feel like they would be someone who would be constantly sort of looking for that sense of fulfillment, and they wouldn't be quite sure that they would find it. It's like, their cup becomes a little bit less empty. The cup is half empty instead of half full. So they would have a different perspective on their life in that way. So they feel like, hey, I don't think I want to even bother to look for anyone else. I think everything that I have is right here, especially when we have this Two of Cups reverse. It's like, what else is out there? Nothing that's going to make me feel this sense of completion and happiness and transformation and change and growth as a person and as an individual. They feel like you're somebody who understands them on a deep level. I know this because we have this Death card here, and the Death card deals with those deep emotions that, we don't always talk about, because Death card also connects to Scorpio, which represents taboo subjects and things along the lines of that. And so when we have that energy here, it lets me know that they feel like they connect to you or connected to you on a deeper level than they had with other individuals, and that they were able to really be their true selves around you is what I'm getting here, especially with this Two of Wands energy. The Two of Wands represents being someone who, marches to the beat of their own drum, someone who is very much unique, individual, someone who can be independent and express themselves fully and completely and have all their quirks be accepted and things along the lines of that, or at least tolerated in a sense with the Temperance card here. Temperance at the very least will tolerate, and at the most will be accepting, right? And when they are interacting with other people, they don't really get that same sort of interaction. To be honest, they don't get that same connection. They don't feel that same sense of fulfillment. They don't feel like they can be themselves. And they feel like you're somebody who appreciates who they are, or did appreciate who they are. Now, I'm reading this more from a romantic perspective, but, this could also be with friendships. Perhaps, they are thinking about how you guys have had like a long, deep connected friendship, how you bring about a sense of happiness and excitability into their life, how you guys have been on many adventures together, because with the 14th Temperance, that obviously connects to Sagittarius, which is always about like venturing out and trying new things and exploring the world and expanding your mind. And they feel like they get that from you in your relationship and your friendship. And it's not really the same connection that they can get with others. The thing that I get with the Two of Cups reverse is it can represent feeling like you want to more so focus on self-love. So it's like saying, in the context of this reading, that you have helped them reflect on their own feelings towards themselves, their own ability to love themselves, to transform their thinking into being more balanced and being more peaceful, and being someone who has a stronger connection to self is what we're getting here. So they really feel like you've brought stronger values into their life, that maybe you have upgraded them from even a moralistic perspective, because with that Sagittarius energy, it deals with morals and values and principles and things along the lines of your own personal philosophy and things along the lines such as that, right? So that's something that can really apply to anyone viewing this reading, not even just from a friendship perspective. That could apply to romantic, that could apply to platonic and things along the lines of that, where you've up-leveled their thinking, you've allowed them to fully express themselves, to think outside the box, to be the type of person who is more understanding of who they are as a person in comparison to others, okay? And they feel like you just have that intrinsic value to their life, okay? That's just point blank period exactly what they want to say. From a more practical approach, I do want to say the Ten of Pentacles, Death card, and Temperance can deal with, everyday finances, possessions, things that you own. If you go to the history of the Temperance card, its original meaning was kind of associated with like economy and frugality and being someone who is more balanced when it comes to like finances and spending and things along the lines of that. And with the Death card being the house of finances and other people and things along the lines of that, because of connection to Scorpio. So it would be things like loans, ETFs, stocks, 401ks, if you're in a business with someone else, there could be things along the lines of that, like shared income, inheritances, essentially money that is earned or that is made, or something on the lines of that isn't from your own efforts or your own work, or something along the lines of that would be the 8th house. And then the 10th house here obviously is going to deal with long-term income. So if you're wondering, in terms of like how they feel, they're like, okay, I feel like this person has helped me with my finances, or has helped me with my career, or has helped me, be motivated in my career. Even if you're not like, oh, I financially helped this person out or something like that, which can happen for some of you reading this pile. Maybe you literally did financially help this person out at some point, but they feel like you have given them some renewed purpose in their career, or some motivation in their career in some sort of way, or even motivations to how they manage finances and how they look at things in a practical sense, and the possessions that they buy and spending. So very practical advice, or maybe they've learned from you, or somehow, some way they have learned something to do with their finances or their careers, or you've motivated them in that sense. You've given them inspiration. You've given them creativity. You've given them a sense of structure in a way as well. And they always feel like they have a home with you, and that you are a supportive person, and that you're somebody who is willing to look at like the darkest parts of them and to just say, that's okay. I accept it, and I'm still here. And that could be very powerful, especially for if this person has never had that happen to them in their life, where maybe people have run away, or, they themselves have trouble facing those, hard feelings when it comes to themselves. That may be part of that self-love that I was getting into earlier, So something about the way that you interact with them, the words that you have said to them, the actions that you have made towards them have made them feel this way. And this is all really powerful, pal. Number 2. They really do feel like you were able to completely transform their life. And now they're on a path that is no longer seeking outside validation because this 2 of Cups is reversed. And they are now looking towards the things that they want to nurture and want to grow, that feels natural, that feels exciting, that makes them happy, that makes them feel fulfilled because of you. And these are the things that they really truly wish that they could tell you. You have completely transformed their life for the better. So that is what I have to say for you, pal. Number 2, hopefully this resonates. If not, feel free to choose a different pile, or, maybe I'm not the reader for you. Either way, I'm very happy you stopped by. Don't forget to let me know if the reading resonates below. Comment, like, subscribe. I want to hear what you have to say. And au revoir. Hey, pal. Number 3, let's get into what they wish they could tell you. We have the 7 of Cups, the 4 of Cups, the great working with you. This might be a coworker. Anxiety, the Tower, and the 4 of Pentacles. Okay, very interesting here. And we have this 7 of Cups, which is all about choice, and this 4 of Cups here, and it's on the Before Tarot deck, so you can see that the person is drinking from one of the 4 cups beforehand, implying that they've already taken an opportunity, and that on the original Rider-Waite deck, they're ignoring one of the cups, which is very interesting. It's almost like saying this person feels like you have provided them with some sort of opportunity. Perhaps you've extended, your hand in friendship. Perhaps you extended your hand in welcoming them to a team member. I'm saying this from a coworker standpoint because we do have great working with you. Now, this is not always romantic. This is not always coworker-ish, but we're gonna start with that, okay? So this person may feel like you have been someone who has given them the rundown, who has provided them with some insight, some opportunities, something that they can sink their paws into. Maybe you've introduced them to some new people, or introduced them to some new perspectives, or even helped them integrate into work or processes, or help them with some processes at work, filling out a timesheet, going over paperwork, helping them with a task, something along the lines of that. And I really feel like this person has a great appreciation for the help that you've offered them, but they may be a little bit too shy to say so. Maybe they feel like you've been highly beneficial, a great help, somebody who's been, a work bestie, and they just don't know the proper way to show their appreciation. 9 of Clouds, anxiety, lets me know that this person has a lot of worries and a lot of concerns about how they are perceived. And the Tower with the 4 of Pentacles is like they have a lot inside of them that they want to let out, but they're worried that things will go south, or maybe you might take what they say the wrong way. Now, it doesn't seem to me like anything that they have to say is particularly negative. If anything, this great working with you lets me know that they are coming from a positive perspective. And this 7 of Cups here is all about dreaming of possibilities. Think daydreaming, hoping about what's new, what can be achieved, what can be conquered, what can be, gained, or something along the lines of that. And on the Before Tarot deck, their eyes are blind. They can't see any of the opportunities or any of the great things in front of them. Possibly you have been a person who has provided them with a positive perspective. And that to them means all of the world. You know, sometimes people go into a situation and they just can't see the positives. They can't see anything good about their situation. And something that you've said or done, or even just you being there and being supportive of this person or communicating with them, has made them feel like, you know what? Actually, there are some good things possibly about this role, this job, this situation that they're in. Okay, it doesn't necessarily have to do directly with the job. People talk about their personal lives at work all the time, right? So it could be some insights into their personal life, their personal situations that you have provided. It may not even specifically be work. Possibly this could be, you know, let's say you volunteer someplace at like, you know, a school function and you have children or something like that. Or you're someone who is a freelancer and you take on projects and you work with people and you provide a new perspective on how to tackle challenges or something along the lines of that. But whatever the case may be, whether this is some kind of club, some organization, some type of work, what this is leading with is the platonic first, and it's saying that there's somebody who really wants to tell you just how amazing of an influence you have been on their life, but they are very, very shy and they don't know if they have the right words for it or if it'll come across, you know, too abrasive or if it will be taken the right way. They just have a lot of anxiety when it comes to that. Okay, I just want to say that. And this can even be someone who feels like you've just made their life less boring. Less like they may have felt like they were living in a shell of dulldom and that they were living this monotonous life. And then you come in and you give them a sense of hope, a sense of, hey, you know what? Maybe my whole world isn't crashing down. Maybe things aren't going as bad as I think they're going. Maybe that I just needed somebody to come in and say something and show me a new perspective. And then this can also apply to other situations that are platonic or even romantic, where you have someone who isn't sure about possibly their direction in life, possibly things that they want to tackle next. They are looking for some inspiration. They're looking for something that they can connect with. They're looking for that emotional validation or feelings of excitement or something along the lines of that in their life. And their mind is just clouded. It is just clouded by this anxiety about all of these negative thoughts about how things will never go their way, things will never change. And it's almost like with this tower here, and this is kind of similar in a way to another pile because we got the tower energy for that as well, where you've come in and you've been this beacon of truth and this beacon of light, and you've just struck them in a way where they're just like, wait a minute. Maybe there are possibilities, because this Four of Pentacles on the end, even though it's still hesitant to take a risk and move forward and take advantage of opportunities in front of them, this doesn't mean that they can't see the opportunities. Whereas as before, at the beginning of this deck here, the beginning of this pile, I should say, we see the Seven of Cups on the Before Tarot deck closing its eyes to opportunities, things they just can't even see. So now you have come in and you've allowed them to see the possibilities that, you know, maybe life is beautiful. Maybe there are some exciting things on the horizon. Maybe life has some unpredictability about it that can be worthwhile. And like I said, that can apply to something that is platonic or even with a romantic partner. Another thing that we see here when it comes to this Seven of Cups and Four of Cups energy coming together is they both kind of represent this energy of retreat and reflection. Okay, so this can also possibly deal with personal insights into themselves. Okay, so this great working with you can possibly be something along the lines of you literally having conversations with this person, and as they're having conversations with them, they're rising in self-awareness, because this tower moment, sometimes this tower moment, as I was just explaining to another pal, can represent just being struck with insight, being struck with knowledge about something. And because we have this 9 of clouds, anxiety, the thing about anxiety, in a way, it kind of makes people a little self-absorbed, which is not a knock to people who have anxiety. It's just that they're so concerned with themselves and things going wrong and the possibility of things happening to them and how they're perceived and how people might react to them and things along the lines of that. Anxiety can be all consuming. Like, it really takes up the brain, and it's just like, why isn't this person calling me back? They hate me. Instead of, you know, this person may not be calling me back because they're busy. And that's kind of what I mean by it kind of makes people a little bit more self-absorbed. It's almost like everything is happening because of me. This person isn't calling me back because they don't like me. This person is, you know, closing the door instead of holding it open for me because there's something wrong with me. People are smiling and laughing, and they happen to be looking in my direction. They must be laughing at me. And this is the thing that anxiety does. It gives you this kind of skewed perspective. So this person who we're talking about now, who has something that they would, you know, wish they could tell you, is very much consumed with their own thoughts and how they are treated or perceived, or, you know, what their place is sort of in the world. They're sort of like centered around themselves in a bit. And when this tower moment comes in, it's almost like you've pushed them to think outside the box. Like I said, with this 4 of Pentacles, I don't know if they've actually acted on anything that you said or anything along the lines of that, but they have 100% thought about it. The thing about 4s is 4's energy is very similar to 7 in that it's reflective and it thinks about the long term, and it's a moment of pause, and it's a moment of, let me consider this, let me reevaluate this, let me take some time to myself, okay? This is very much like self-focus with this person. So something about your interactions, the conversations that you're having with this individual is making them reflect a little bit more on their own thoughts and how they're shaping their thoughts. And they're deconstructing the way that they go about conversations, or stringing together thoughts. And even, it's almost like you've pushed them to acknowledge that their way of thinking may not even be the best way. So that goes back to things great for working with you. Like, it's almost like you've been this therapist in a way. And not only that, but great working with you can represent, hey, I feel like you've bettered me and I've been able to work on myself through you, with you, because of you. Things along the lines of that. That is what it's mainly saying here. Now, if we're looking at things from a romantic sense, it's very similar in that way, where we have somebody who may have a way of thinking that can be quite limiting. And it's almost like they feel like they want to be able to say that it would be very hard for them to let go of this relationship or let go of this connection. And they are a little bit worried about you possibly leaving or moving on to someone else or something bigger, something better, something along the lines of that, because they feel like you add such value in their life. When we have great working with you, one thing that work does is it adds value to our lives. And they feel like you're somebody who adds value to their lives. With the 7 of Cups here from the Before Tarot deck, they're like, I can't see any other options. Like, you're the only cup I want to drink from. And I have a lot of fears and anxieties about this ending. And I don't want that to happen with this 4 of Pentacles. I don't want this thing to go anywhere. I want this relationship to stay exactly how it is, you know, within the sense of like you two being together, not the sense of like you two never growing or anything like that. They feel like things are pretty good as they are. So this person may have a lot of fears of losing you, pal number 3. And I really feel like they just need to have a conversation with you in order to pacify those fears or those anxieties that they're having about maybe you exiting their life or leaving them for somebody else. This person definitely has a lot of insecurities there. The 4 of Pentacles is all about insecurity. We're going to say that they, or at least they feel a sense of insecurity, even if the relationship or whatever the case may be when the 4 of Pentacles comes here. In this case, we're talking about connections and how they feel towards you. So this is a relationship, but they feel like this relationship, this connection, has this possibility of ending, even though it doesn't look like it's shown any signs of that. It doesn't look like you've displayed any behaviors that you're going anywhere. But because this person has this deep-rooted fear, possibly due to their childhood, something else, whatever the case may be, they're scared about that. Okay? I just want to say they are scared. And so that is what I have for you, pal number 3. This person wants to let you know that they don't want you to go anywhere. They want you to stay in their life. You've added a lot of value to them. You're the person who makes them feel good. You make them feel relaxed. You make them feel like they can breathe around you. Okay? That they don't have to think all of these negative thoughts. They just come crashing down and they can just sort of rest and be a little bit more at peace. And they don't want to lose that. So that is what I have for you, pal number 3. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if this resonates. If not, feel free to choose a new pile, or possibly I'm not the reader for you. Either way, I'm very happy you stopped by. Don't forget to tell me all about, you know, if this reading resonates below. I love reading your comments. I read every single one. So that is all I have for you. Au revoir. We have the 9 of Wands on the Before Tarot deck. Both of these are Before Tarot. This is, do not try to do everything. Do one thing well. Okay. We have the 10 of Raindrops. Put that down here. We have the Emperor. And we have the Ace of Pentacles. All right. So, it looks like this person would like to offer a helping hand. What I love about this Before Tarot deck, showing what's happening on the tarot cards before they happen. You have the King of Swords being handed a sword by the cloud in the sky. So he's just positioning himself as a king. And on the 9 of Wands card, we can see the wolf that injured the warrior as he faces his challenges. So what this makes me believe is this person wants to offer their assistance. They see things coming your way, which may be challenging, and they feel like maybe they have some advice, or maybe they actually want to physically assist you in some way, or, you know, offer some, you know, mental assistance, whatever the case may be. Excuse me, like if you needed help filling out some sort of applications, this person might want to help you. If you needed some sort of reference, this person might want to be on your side, whatever the case may be. But the person's, what they wish they could say to you is, hey, I see you working hard. I see you grinding away. I see you doing your best to ensure that you reach this peak of fulfillment and happiness. And I would like to be able to assist you in that. Especially when we have this 10 of Cups here, which is, you know, really 10 of Raindrops or fulfillment here. Which makes me believe that they feel, 1, your dreams obviously are achievable. But 2, what I just said earlier, they believe that you might need some assistance. And 3, the thing they want to say is actually they feel like they have a lot of love and care for you, okay? Now, I don't know if this is romantic platonic, so I'm going to read it both ways, and we're going to start with romantic because I think that's the perspective that a lot of people are coming from. If this is someone that you are dating or in a relationship with, then this person is saying, hey, like, I really feel like we could get things done together. We could create a beautiful life together. It doesn't have to be, you know, you do your own thing and I do my one thing. It's 100%, 100%. We both give it our all to create a beautiful relationship. You don't have to carry all the load. You don't have to do everything without help. I am here to assist, essentially. They want to let you know that they can be of help to you, be of use to you. You can lean on them. You don't have to be Mr. or Mrs. Independent here. But this doesn't take away from the fact that you can do it on your own. This person can see that. This person can see that you have a plan set in place. You have focus. You have drive. You have confidence. You have the intelligence. You have the beauty, whatever the case may be. You have every tool that you need to get the job done. It's just that maybe things could get done in a way that is more fulfilling for both of you within the relationship. And certain situations can come up with that. You know, for example, you could have one person who's always sort of like planning dates. You can have one person who's like, you know, reaching out more to another person. And I guess they want things to feel like they're more balanced, they're more reciprocal. It's not just, you know, you do this, I do that. It's like, hey, we could tackle these things together. We can divvy things up. We can share the load. We can share the responsibilities. That's what I'm seeing here when it comes to these cards. It's actually quite, you know, beautiful here that this person has such care and deep affection for you. And with this Ace of Pentacles on the end, what they want to tell you is they feel like you guys have a very solid foundation, that the communication is very, very strong, that you two are both maybe opinionated or just have very strong beliefs, but you manage to communicate with each other in a way that brings you both a sense of happiness and security. It doesn't feel like, you know, you two are making an enemy out of each other. But they do feel to some degree you may be leaving them out of certain areas of your life. You know, whatever the case may be, sometimes people are used to not asking for help, and maybe you've had like those experiences in your life where no one's ever offered help, or you didn't feel like they were reliable. But this person wants you to know that they're reliable. You can lean on them. They will get the job done. You know, they take you seriously. They take themselves very seriously. This is the King of Swords is somebody who follows through on their promises. You know, their word is their bond. Like, they know how important it is to, when they say they're going to do something, they know how important it is to follow through on these things. So this person wants to communicate that message, and whether that's romantic or platonic, that's the overarching theme for, you know, everyone. And as I mentioned, from a platonic perspective, they see that this relation has a strong potential to grow, and that you guys bring a lot of happiness, joy, fulfillment into each other's lives. It feels like you really connect deeply and emotionally with each other, and there's an intuitive understanding about what each other wants, what each other wants to achieve, as well as you may have an intuitive way of communicating with each other. But as I said before, there just feels like it's almost like this King of Swords is preparing to knock down these walls that this Nine of Wands person is trying to build. Like, this person is building this little fort to stop this wolf from coming through. But then this King of Swords here is also like, hey, I'm prepared to break down these walls that it feels like that maybe you are putting up. Like, you aren't letting me into maybe those vulnerable moments, or how you feel inside, or certain areas of your life. And the Emperor kind of connects to Mars. I mean, it does connect to Mars. And Mars, one thing it does, it connects to the 8th house of Scorpio because it rules that house from a traditional astrology and in Vedic astrology. And it also rules the 1st house of Aries. So it's almost like you are guarding yourself. You are protecting yourself from this individual. And they feel like maybe you're putting up some walls that is, you know, blocking this ability to fully delve into the full potential of happiness you two can reach together. That is what somebody, they wish they could tell you. They may be a little bit concerned that you might be offended by that, or you might take it the wrong way, because the Emperor can be sometimes like a hot-headed card. And maybe they feel like, oh, I don't have the words to properly communicate that. I might come off like I'm attacking you, like this wolf here, or and you may get like defensive or things along the lines of that. And that's something that maybe they see, but they aren't sure of. You know, how could they be totally sure? You know, maybe they're basing this on previous interactions that you two have had, or maybe their own biases coming through, whatever the case may be, but they feel like those walls are being built there, and it's blocking you guys from, like I said, reaching that full peak of love and cherish and happiness. And that's kind of how this person feels. And this could also be vice versa, where this is them acknowledging this about themselves, and that could be the issue. Because sometimes I have seen that in the reverse with cards, where it's just like, hey, I know that I'm the issue, and I wish I could tell you that, hey, yeah, I've got these walls, these defenses to protect me from getting hurt, from stopping my happiness from, you know, ending, from having my bubble burst, so I don't have to start all over and form a new relationships, because I'm very happy and fulfilled with the way things are. And that's something that's to be said when it comes to these cards. One thing that we do want to get into when it comes to platonic relationships is this person may want to tell you something that could potentially be something to do with their own ambitions or their own lives or their own goals. Like, when I get this from a platonic sense, this is almost like, hey, I have some news about something that I might want to do, but I might be afraid to tell you, or I might be a little bit hesitant to tell you because I don't want you to critique my plans. I want you to be more supportive and encouraging, because the Emperor can be almost like a cheerleader in a sense, because it has that Mars ruled energy, and they may be looking for some sort of, like I said, cheerleader to, you know, share their ideas instead of saying, have you properly thought this thing through, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Like, you may be seeing it as a way of helping, but then they may see it as like, oh man, I just wish you could just like say, you know, good job or something like that. And that may be for a small group of you. It's possible that like 90% of you are like more just outwardly supportive, but then there's other percentage of you which maybe this person may feel like you're going to be a little bit concerned, and so you're going to try to make sure that they're thinking things through, and this person may take that as you sort of like poking holes in their plans and like bursting their bubble and, you know, clipping their wings before they can fly. So that's something that to keep in mind, okay? And then this energy of like, do not try to do everything at once is actually quite interesting here, because when it comes to like a friendship perspective, maybe they feel like that's what you're going to say to them. I've definitely met people who will have like 3, 4, 5, 6 different ideas flowing at one time. And I'm guilty of this myself, where I say, hey, you might want to just concentrate on one thing instead of playing like a more supportive role and saying, you know, great job, keep going, and things along the lines of that. And obviously I say that based on what I've seen. It's better to concentrate on one thing. And honestly, it kind of applies to a lot of different areas in life, even when it comes to like investing or something along the lines of that. having a lot of money in like one stock is probably the quickest way to be like a millionaire or gain a lot of money, because if you're too spread out, you don't quite make the same amount of gains. Yes, you take more risks investing in like a smaller group of stocks, but you also have the highest potential to gain more money. It's the same thing with concentrating your energy. Yes, if you put all your eggs in one basket, or one or two, three baskets, there's more risk of those eggs breaking. But however, if you put things in 15 different baskets, you can't really nurture them all. You can't track them all, and things along the lines of that. And maybe that's what this person is thinking, along the lines of that. So they thinking they're being helpful, but they're not. But I went off on a tangent a little bit there. Essentially, this person really loves this connection that they have with you. They feel like you are generally a supportive person, that you're coming from a good place, especially with this Ace of Pentacles on the end. They feel like you do give like a very practical perspective and things along the lines of that. And it's almost like I said, these words are like, they've already predicted what you're going to say about this new venture, or new idea that they have, or that they want to bring forward. And I guess that's probably the reason why they're a little bit more hesitant to tell you, because the King of Swords isn't somebody who doesn't fully think things through. So this is something that they've had to been planning for quite some time, or doing some research, or thinking about for quite a long period. And maybe they feel like you'll think that this is just, you've already got enough on your plate. You know, you've got 2 jobs, you know, you volunteer at this place, you help out and babysit for your nieces and nephews, you are trying to write a coloring book, or make a coloring book for children. I don't know, whatever the case may be, but they may feel like you already have a lot on your plate. Or they may feel like you think they already have a lot on their plate, and they just don't want to feel like sharing another idea, because they may feel like, oh, this person's going to say that, oh no, I'm doing too much, and I just need to chill, and things along the lines of that. But they feel like in the long run, you know, you will be supportive. So they rather just wait and kind of slowly show you their work. I think this pile, out of all the ones I've read so far, this pile, whether romantically or platonically, this person is going to end up sharing their thoughts, because there's nothing here to really hold them back, except for this 9 of Wands energy. But the 9 of Wands can only keep it up for so long before they kind of let whatever they have to say out. And especially with the Ace of Pentacles here representing a new beginning, and in a way it's kind of like taking a chance and kind of throwing something out there that's a little bit new and different. I feel like this person is actually going to come forth at some time. But the Ace of Pentacles can be quite some time. Not like super long, but it's like, oh, you should have said this a lot sooner. You know what I mean? Yeah, Ace of Pentacles is very slow moving. I remember I got it for one day, and I think I was in traffic for like 2 hours. And I was like, wow, this is a long day. Or at least it'll feel like that. So whenever they come forward, you're like, why didn't you tell me this sooner? That's going to be the reaction more than likely that you'll have. So that is what I have for you, pal number 4. If this resonates with you, feel free to let me know. And if not, you could choose a different pal, or maybe I'm not the reader for you. Either way, I'm very happy you stopped by. Don't forget to comment and let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, become an astronaut. You know, check out my lives. I go live on the weekend, and all you have to do is check out the community tab for that. And I will see you next time. Au revoir. Hey pal number 5, let's get started on your reading on what they wish they could tell you. Now we have the 2 of Cups, the Lovers. This is a lot of wonderful stuff. If anyone can do it, it's you. We have Ace of Clouds, new ideas. We have the 8 of Cups. We have the 9 of Cups. Wow. Okay. This is such a positive message that we have here with what they wish that they could tell you. And I'm surprised they haven't told you already, but when we have this 2 of Cups and the Lovers on the Before Tarot deck. They're both kind of showing two lovers, two committed partners, two people who like each other, who just haven't met yet. The union hasn't quite formed. So maybe you're in a new relationship, or maybe you're just in a relationship where you've potentially met someone who you could spend a significant amount of time with, even maybe the rest of your life with. So you might be early on in your story instead of early on in your like relationship, meaning like you just met, like I just said. So what we see here is this person kind of wants to say with this Ace of Clouds, new ideas, is that before they met you, they kind of maybe felt like life really wasn't the same. Okay, life didn't really have the same sort of va-va-voom or zhuzh to it. Okay, I do want to say that because we show the lovers coming together, we show the Two of Cups couples coming together, and then boom, we have Ace of Clouds, new ideas. So this person feels like you're an inspiration to them, and I don't think they have quite let you know that. This person has a very like high opinion of you, a lot of love for you, a lot of care for you. And maybe that's something that they also wish they could tell you. Just how much love and nurturing and support that you have given them in their lives. Just how much of a helping hand, just how much insight you have provided for them. It's all been absolutely wonderful. Okay, they really see you as somebody who is capable of, you know, changing the world, or at least changing their world, because we have, if anyone could do it, it's you. So this person sees you as somebody who is able to accomplish whatever they put their mind to. And I don't think they have quite told you that yet, that they see you in this sort of all like light. And I love this Eight of Cups energy too, because I usually get the Eight of Cups to represent somebody moving on to something bigger, something better. Like they've looked at the options in front of them on the Seven of Cups and they said, you know what? I think I have more options than this. I think I don't have to settle for any of these things. I can go out into the world and find something even better. And so they view you as a person who doesn't just take what's offered in front of them. You're somebody who's willing to seek out new adventures, things that make you feel stimulated, things that make you feel excited, things that connect with your true nature, your true values, and who you are and what you want to bring into this world, or even what legacy you want to leave behind if you think along the lines of that. They see you as somebody who goes beyond this little box that, you know, maybe society or others may put them in. And they feel like you create your own path, you create your own avenue. And we have this Nine of Cups on the end, which one represents they feel like you can achieve it, which kind of just reiterated with this, you know, if anyone can do it, you can, right? Or if anyone can do it, it's you. And then two, it also represents, you know, their deep feelings towards you. One thing about the Eight of Cups, if we're not talking about, you know, closing the door in a relationship, which I don't think this is, then it can have to do with deepening an emotional bond, like searching for the hidden meaning underneath the surface of things. So when we're talking about that in terms of a relationship with someone, it's like going beyond the surface level connections or conversations that you have, and really trying to get to know the inner workings of a person, their childhood, you know, why they think a certain way, the patterns that they form. Like your childhood really does affect who you are, how you think, and the decisions that you make. And this person wants to know all about that, okay? For sure. So they feel like they want to dive in deeper with you. They want to connect on a deeper plane, and that would bring them a stronger sense of fulfillment, a stronger sense of like, wow, we've really connected. We've really shown each other our true colors. We really feel this divine connection, intimate connection, powerful, intuitive bond, whatever the case may be. But it's all about connecting on this higher plane. I will say, you know, sometimes we get the Nine of Cups and it can focus a little bit more on self-pleasure. But since we have this Two of Cups and the Lovers here, it makes me think along the lines of like, I want this to happen for both of us. In a way, they feel like they want to say to you that you're always coming with new ideas. You're always someone who is enjoyable to talk to. The conversations that you have are deep and meaningful and impactful. The conversations that you have make this person search a little bit further in their own soul. The conversations bring them so much enjoyment. And it doesn't have to just be conversations. It could, you know, be any sort of way that you interact or how you communicate with this person, you know. You could write books or poetry or draw paintings, and maybe they find your paintings inspiring. But whatever the case is, it's the way that they feel when it comes to the things that you communicate. And how they feel is absolutely wonderful. They're like, wow, this person is incredible. Like, I love this person. This person is so fantastic. Okay? I feel like they have a mind like a diamond. You know what I mean? So rare, such an incredible gem, and so valuable. And I know it's very much emphasized on the way that you're communicated, not only because we have this, you know, Ace of Clouds type of energy here, but because we also have the Lovers, and the Lovers connect to Gemini, as I always say, and Gemini is the house of communications. Okay, it is all about how do you think and what you say and your belief systems and, you know, putting your own ideas out there in the world and coming up with your own sense of individuality, okay? Like, who am I as a person? Who are you as a person? Like, what do we have in common? It can represent some things about making decisions or having choices, which is another amazing thing because we just have this strong theme of choice here. So if we meditate on that, then it's almost like they're saying, you know, we both have a lot of options here, but I feel like I choose to be with you. Or we have a lot of options here, but I feel like we are divinely linked or connected through some sort of, I don't know, mystery force. It's almost like this connection feels karmic. It feels divine. I mean, look, we have this angel here, winged angel watching over the couple in the garden versus we also have this angel lion. I'm not really sure what that is. I have to look up that symbolism later, but another winged figure here watching over you two, having you guys connected. And this person feels like of all the people they could have met in the world, it really means something to have met you. It really means something to have connected to you in this way. This is a meaningful connection. This is a meaningful relationship. Whether that is platonic, whether that has to do with, you know, romantic, whatever the case may be. But there are many paths that you guys could have chosen, but you have chosen and come together in front of each other. And that is impactful. Okay? And then also because we have this, I guess you could say the nakedness of these figurines or whatever you want to call it. It also represents a layer of vulnerability. Whether like, hey, I'm choosing to share these things with you. I'm choosing to reveal who I am to you. And I feel like you're able to bring out this side of me that I don't normally show other people. And that's something that they really, really wish they could tell you. Like they are evolving to a higher version of themselves. Because you have to remember, the Lovers is, you know, symbolic of Adam and Eve. This is the tree of knowledge. And so it's like before you, there was a lot of ignorance towards who they were or how they showed up in the world. And you came in and you unveiled that ignorance and you've shown them some sort of new light. I'm just using the symbolism to sort of like convey how this person feels and what they want to say to you. Like, it's almost like you have opened up their world in a way. And another pile is similar to this, but it's like not just to ideas. This is more so like you've opened their heart to love, right? That's the thing that I'm getting here. You've opened up their heart to connection. You've opened up their heart to letting people in. And it's really brought them a sense of enjoyment and happiness that I don't think they had before you. So that is what I want to say, how number 5. Please let me know if this resonates. If not, feel free to choose a new pile, or maybe I'm not the reader for you. Either way, I'm very happy you stopped by. And I do want to remind you to don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, become an astronaut. I would love to see you back here. Hit that notification. And I go live on the weekend. So if you want to catch a live reading with me, all you have to do is check out the community tab and I will post the time I'll be live by Tuesday night Eastern Standard Time. That is all I have for you. Au revoir.